This is definitely the closest you're going to get to a traditional haunt/maze experience this season. Hello and welcome back to the Haunt Line, the show dedicated to SoCal haunts and events. Today we are reviewing what is easily the best value of Haunt 2020 drive-through Scream Zone Roadkill. Located at the Mar Fairgrounds, this 20-minute haunt is definitely deep in SoCal, but it is 100% worth the trip if you're looking for classic jump scares. This is definitely the closest you're going to get to a traditional haunt/maze experience this season. Although it seems far, the drive out to Del Mar isn't that bad at all. We went on a Sunday night. Our time slot was at 9:30 p.m. and the drive was super smooth all the way down. It only took us about like an hour and 10 minutes to get there. I mean, hell, it's taken me longer to get to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios at times. Sometimes I'd leave my house and it would take me at least 2 hours to get to Horror Nights. So a drive out to Del Mar isn't bad at all. The experience starts by taking you through the empty fairgrounds, which is actually totally unintentionally creepy. Everything is closed, everything is dark, and you travel to the very rear of the grounds, which is almost a 10-minute experience in and of itself. Once you arrive at the loading area, you are given the opportunity to use the restroom and to purchase snacks like kettle corn, funnel cakes, and other common fare foods. We waited around 15 minutes for the experience itself to start, which isn't bad at all. But again, we went on a Sunday night in the 9:30 time slot, so I can only imagine the lines can get pretty long on Fridays and Saturdays. There is a 3-mile-per-hour speed limit at the event, and they do ask you to turn off your headlights and only use your parking lights, and if you're gonna have your windows down, masks are required. The very first portion of the haunt features large mechanical puppets, and it really sets the tone for the experience. Listen, right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, don't come here looking for sets that are the quality of, like, say, Not Scary Farm or Halloween Horror Nights, or even for a super immersive storyline. But what they lack in detail, they make up for with scares and with ambience, because they do a great job of providing you with a fun haunt experience. From there, you enter Conjuring Road, which features tons of fun mechanical effects, the famous Home Depot skeleton, and lots of places for performers to hide and pop out at you. You then move on to the Dead End Truck Stop, which includes a restaurant facade, a very fun bar scene, and the horror staple, the shady gas station. The next zone is dressed to look like an abandoned carnival, complete with ticket booths, game booths, and even a Ferris wheel prop that is actually pretty damn tall. All throughout these zones, performers were really using the environment to their advantage. They had lots of places to hide, lots of dark corners to pop out of, and they all used props like shakers and thunder jugs to really get the scare factor up. Next, you move into Horror Icon Way, which features characters like Pennywise, Georgie and his arm, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, and Jason on a fun pier set piece. You then move into a pretty clever mine shaft set piece that was simple yet super effective. And it had lots of places for performers to pop out of. In fact, on either side of the mine was kind of a connective tunnel where they can really pop in and out and get you. From there, the theming becomes somewhat convoluted and generic, but it's still lots of fun. Again, the performers did a great job of popping out from behind hiding places and using props to really get us. Oh shit! Finally, the experience ends on Fury Road, a nod at a Mad Max-like dystopian future that includes some pretty detailed set pieces and a chainsaw finale. So overall, we had a blast at the Scream Zone. The sets were basic, but lots of fun. The scare factor is super high. They got us a lot. They got us many times. The operations were smooth and efficient. We were in and out without a problem, and they made great use of the space that they had available to them. My only major critique, though, is that although all the performers were really good about keeping their face masks on properly, they were definitely not 6 feet away from the guests. The FAQs specifically state that there will not be any human-to-human contact and that no one will reach into your car, but there were definitely times where they were extremely close. Although this makes for very fun interactions, personally, I couldn't help but be a little sketched out about how close they were. If you want the safest experience possible, just crack your windows so you can still hear the ambient music and the noises the performers make, but keep yourself protected from close contact.
Ooh. I got a stimulus package and got some nifty candy.
Now, let's break down the pricing. Sundays through Thursdays, tickets are only $45 for cars that accommodate a maximum of 4 people. Vehicles with 5 to 8 people pay $60. On Fridays and Saturdays, standard vehicle tickets cost $65 and larger vehicle tickets cost $80. And listen, this is totally worth the price. I mean, hell, it's actually a bargain. We ended up basically paying $22.50 per person for a haunt experience that was a lot of fun. So I absolutely recommend it. Gather a group safely, divide the cost, make a fun road trip out to Del Mar, and get ready to be scared. The sets aren't super detailed, the costuming isn't the best, but my rule of thumb is that if you're not going to completely immerse me, then at the very least, scare me, and Scream Zone Roadkill definitely met that standard perfectly. And well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Haunt Line. Let me know down in the comments below, did you go to the Scream Zone and how did you like it compared to all the other offerings that we have here in SoCal? Don't forget you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter for all the latest haunt news. You can visit us on the web for links to all of our stuff. And you can download our podcast, which finally has new episodes. The latest one is one with TLEV. We've got more interviews. We've got more collaborations coming up on the podcast. So stay tuned for that. And here on YouTube as well. And until the next time, thank you for calling The Haunt Line.